What is up? It is Dean Soto. Welcome. Have you ever posted something online, suggested an idea, said something amongst friends, and that person made a mean comment? Maybe it was on a YouTube video or a TikTok video or something like that, or laughed at you. That's a gut punch that a lot of the times keeps us right where we are. And it's something that for me was a huge stumbling block. Why does their opinion even matter? Why does it cause you to question everything? It happens, and then you start questioning everything about yourself. You start questioning why you're not enough, why you're not able to be at a level that you want to be, why you're not able to freely say whatever it is that you want to say. Today, we are digging in to why we get embarrassed. What does it say about us? How to use those moments productively to grow instead of to shrink. And this is something that's near and dear to my heart because ultimately, even with all of the business success, even with all of the growth from a financial standpoint, this is what I really truly wanted because I felt so inferior to everybody. And to break free, to get that freedom meant the world. And so hopefully through this we'll get some ideas. You'll be able to also get the freedom to be able to it you'll see that it's not as bad as you think, and it's one of the best ways to grow by being able to notice these things and move on to the next things. Because here's the thing, embarrassment isn't about them. It has nothing to do with the outside world. It has nothing to do with other people. It's a mirror. It shows us something about ourselves that we don't like. And once you understand this, you can then stop letting it hold you back and start owning your own power. All right, so here's the thing. Embarrassment happens when someone highlights something that we're insecure about or something that we're ashamed of, or it's this mirror that's being held up to you. I remember when, this is way back in the day, this is when I first started my business. I want to say like 10 years, 12 years ago. I was in my car, and you could probably even still find these videos. I was in my car and I was talking about business stuff. It's stuff that I was learning. I was learning how to sell. I was very introverted. I was working full time for Boeing at the time. I was extremely introverted. And even though I had seen some success and I wanted to share that success, I got onto the YouTube video and or started doing YouTube videos, and boom, first comment I got was someone saying, "Oh yeah, you're a wannabe SEO guy, whatever," and it crushed me. I stopped doing those videos. In fact, I stopped doing those videos for years. I even had a friend do the same thing, and I stopped my marketing because of it for years and years and years. At least my organic, like, video marketing. See, if a random person on the street, someone who clearly knows nothing about you, and somebody who, let's say you are at a gas station and it's there's a homeless person that comes and is begging for money, and you say, and they just literally, for whatever reason, start making fun of you, saying, "Oh, you think you're hot stuff, you don't know anything about money, you don't know anything about finance. Oh, I see you in your little nice car there, eh, you know, what do you think, who do you think you are?" Are you going to give credence to them? That Are you going to listen to them when they're telling you that you suck with money? Meanwhile, they're homeless and they're digging through the trash? No, of course not. Or let's say somebody who is just completely shabby and raggedy and just totally unkempt. They're telling you that how your style sucks, and you think you look cool but you don't. Are you really going to care about what they say? No. Okay. I personally, I would just like laugh it off. I but it's funny because like when it comes to things with family members and sometimes even YouTube commenters or TikTok comments, Instagram and so on, for whatever reason we put those people on a higher pedestal. In fact, I have a friend who I mentored whose family was telling him that he was doing the wrong things when it came to managing his finances and his credit cards and things like that. I was teaching him how to do things like velocity banking and so on. And I'm not going to go into that now. And he's like, "Yeah, my family says that this is too risky and I'm going to get in trouble and this is dumb and it's good." And giving all these different fear mongering tactics to him. And I said, "Okay, let me ask you a question. In with their current financial situation, is that what you want? Is what they are currently in? Like, are they successful? No. Are they in a massive amount of debt? Yes. Are they getting hounded by their credit card companies all the time? Yes. Do they have a bunch of cars that are useful and they're all paid off? No. Okay, so why would you listen to them? If they can't even manage their own finances, why would you listen to them?" And the light bulb clicked, and he completely started to ignore them when it came to finances. That sting didn't hurt anymore. He had held them on this pedestal, and by the way, he has a stack full of credit cards like this. He went from one beat up car to having several cars, things like that, doing very well. But he held them on this pedestal like they knew better than him. They knew what they were talking about, despite the fact that their exterior world didn't. He held them on this higher plane. And a lot of the times, if you look at the stuff, the comments, the words that hurt from specific people, even people who you don't know, a lot of the times it's because we subconsciously hold them on a higher plane. And so when I would get these nasty comments from on my YouTube channel or TikTok or whatever, I would think that the way that my subconscious would work is I would think that I must not be successful because all the successful people, you look at their comments for the most part and they're embracing. Like the top comments are embracing. But if you go and you scroll down, if you go and look down at the actual comments on their videos, you'll see that they get a ton of nasty comments. And what do these successful people do when they get those comments? Generally, they ignore them. Sometimes they even like them because a comment is a comment. And it helps, it even helps the algorithm to see you more, whether it's negative or positive. And so what really is happening when you have this embarrassment or this sting or the pain associated with the words that people use is you're subconsciously seeing something in yourself. Maybe it's a coworker questioning your competence or a stranger laughing at your ideas. It hits because we already believe there's some truth to it. So when somebody would comment on a video for me and say, you don't know what you're talking about, despite successful businesses, despite success overall in life, there was an inferiority complex. There was something inside of me that I would say, as I was making the video itself, that there would be this little bit within me saying, yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. You're not as good as everybody else. Who do you think you are? And so when someone commented that same thing, it was boom, a reflection back at that same exact thing, right? And so this is why we feel that. And it's one of the best gifts that you can have. It's one of the best gifts that you can get. Because when you realize that everything that happens to you, everything comes internally first, comes inward to outward, you'll start seeing that the external world, the things that hurt, the things that give you joy, the things that give you peace, the things that give you, all comes from stuff that's already inside. This is just showing you, it's a feedback of what's actually going on inside. That fear of embarrassment stops us from speaking up because we see it as a negative, as a that we have to change something out there before we can do something in here, right? Keeps us from trying new things, keeps us from putting ourselves out there, and we start playing small because we think that, oh, these things out there have to change before I can start doing these inward things. But in fact, it's the opposite. We have to start looking inward and changing from the out, or changing from the inside, and then the outside will start reflecting. Okay, so this is where you start using the mirror, turn the mirror to yourself. You start seeing these feedbacks, all these feedback, the external feedback happening based off of a video that you put out. And every single time I put out a video, I know that, or I don't know, but I expect that I'm going to get something that's kind of like an ouch, an ouch, an ouch. It's totally fine. Sometimes it's cool because I'll get stuff that's positive as well. But here's how you turn it into a positive. Okay, first things first. You're going to recognize the trigger. You're going to recognize the trigger, and this is not meant as a. I never want, like, one of the most unhealthy things, in my opinion, is ignoring feedback. And we all know those people who think they're great singers, or they think that they are a certain way and they're not, because they completely ignore feedback. However, there's a fine line. I have a friend of mine who was in high school who was a great singer, but she was kind of overly full of herself, I guess. And she ignored a lot of the feedback that she was getting, and it stifled her growth. But after a while, just through sheer determination of the inward stuff, she was even able to sing in Carnegie Hall. But the thing is, first things first, is you need to recognize the trigger. When you get that ouch moment, it could be from a spouse, it could be from one of your kids, it can be from a coworker, it could be from somebody at Starbucks, wherever. You got to recognize that that's a trigger. Why do I feel that way? You have to ask yourself, like, why does it bother you? Because a lot of times we don't realize, like, why does it bother you? Why does it bother you that guy cut you off in the middle of the road? Like, that cut you off on the lane? Why does it bother you? A lot of the times, if you ask yourself that, like, is it really going to be that big of a deal if he cuts you off and you get there 1/10 of a second late to your destination? What part of you feels seen or exposed or insecure? And then you have to really just flip the script. Instead of running from that feeling, sit with it. What's it trying to teach you about yourself? And like, where can you grow from it? And literally think from the end. This is why I love Neville Goddard so much. Think from the end in mind. If you think from the end, let me just set this up. If you think from the end in mind of how you want it to be, and even revise that situation, how would you have wanted it to go? How would you feel if it went a different way? You'll start to see your world reflecting that. For me, a lot of the times, the stings for me would come from people not validating me. I needed a ton of validation. I'm trying to figure out the best way to set this mic up so I'm not hidden back here. I needed a ton of validation for whatever reason. Lots of past stuff. And so even if I said hi to somebody on the street when I was practicing being more social, if I said hi to somebody on the street and they did not say hi back, it would hurt so bad. It would be so embarrassing. How could they not say hello back? What did I do wrong? And then I realized that, I tend, sitting with it, I tend to constantly my inner self-talk would constantly be hammering myself down. You're not good enough. You don't know how to speak well. You are not good at business. You are just lucky. Like, you're lucky. You just stumbled into all of this. The complete sheer luck stumbled into all of this. So it was complete luck that you even got to where you are right now. And so when the world out there reflected back at me and they didn't acknowledge, it just really screamed back at me, yeah, you aren't even worthy enough to acknowledge. And so in my mind, I would start replaying it. I would replay like how I would want it to go. But then I would start changing the way that I viewed myself. I would start changing the way that I would see it more as they don't know how to be social. I would see it as they missed out on the opportunity to say hi or to have a conversation. And it's true, because I can't tell you how many times I've started a conversation with somebody that I could have completely ignored given the circumstances. It could have been in the locker room at the gym. It could be wherever. Where after I met them, they were a very successful, high-level person, and nobody knew who they were. And it led to opportunities that would never have happened otherwise. And sometimes, I even have people who I've been friends with for years and years and years who are Amazon bestsellers, they own several businesses, things like that, that literally could have completely ignored. Or they came to me, introduced themselves to me, and I could have been a jerk. I could have completely let it go. and lost that opportunity. So the same goes for them. I think I'm amazing. I know I'm amazing. And so it's their loss, not my loss. And to feel that, and I know I'll probably get comments for that, but who cares? I think I'm amazing. Why would you not want to think you're amazing? Like, nobody else is going to think you're more amazing than you can't wait for somebody to just say, "Oh my gosh, you're amazing," because it's really fleeting. Because the second you do something that person doesn't like, you're not really that great of a person anymore in their eyes. So why not make yourself feel amazing? Okay. Even Jesus said, "You are the light of the world." Okay. I didn't say it. Jesus said it. He said it to his disciples. Okay. You are the light of the world. You will do greater things than I will. Okay. You're a pretty dang awesome person. So own it. And so that once I started changing that, then the comments, then the ignoring, then the whatever, it was like, oh, well, their loss, not mine, and move on. And the people who could edify my life stayed. The people who didn't, go. New people come in that are amazing. People who are not amazing, they stay away. Right? That sting turned into a filtering process. See, like this embarrassment or this feeling, the sting, it's not your enemy. It's a guide. It's showing you where you feel vulnerable. And that's exactly where you have the most room to grow. Okay, so the next time you feel that, you need next time you feel it, pause, or at the end, just note it, and at the end of the day, think about it. Pause before reacting. Okay, it's the more that you just look at the feeling without any judgment, the better. Okay, like thank the moment. Like seriously thank the moment. Thank God that this is a chance for you to grow. This is you're seeing a vulnerability within you. And then start working on strengthening that. I love to just imagine what it would be like to act in the way that I want to act. And own it. And not feel like, no, this has to change. I have to do this and all this other stuff first before I can feel that and imagine that. No, I just imagine it. I start imagining what it would feel like. I start imagining what it would be like. I don't need anyone's permission. I don't need anybody's permission at all. I can do what I want to do in my imagination. So I will start feeling exactly what it would feel like if I didn't care what that person said, or if I wanted to talk to that person, or if I wanted to make this much amount of money. I would feel what it felt like. I remember when I wanted a specific amount of money per month. I'd lay on my floor. I'd imagine I'd go into my payment processor, looking at what the monthly revenue was, and guess what? It hit that a few years later. Okay, I felt what it was like. I didn't need anyone's permission. Start feeling what it's like, and you might think your reason's going to tell you. Your reason's going to tell you, oh, this is dumb. You can't. That's not you. You can't do that. But the more that you just do it, your outer world will start reflecting that. It just happens. It's crazy. Here's your challenge. Think of one thing that you've been avoiding because you're afraid of what people might say or think. Maybe it's sharing an idea, starting a business, posting that video. I want to say do it anyway, but it's hard to do it anyway. I would imagine what it was like. Let's say you wanted to start doing videos on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or whatever. I would imagine what it was like if you already had 100,000 subscribers, or if you already had 100 videos that you put up. Let's say even whatever is easier, 100 videos or 100,000 subscribers. I imagine myself actually being stopped in places, which has happened before. It's actually pretty funny, and people saying, "Oh yeah, you're the TikTok guy, yeah? You've been. I saw you on TikTok." That's what I imagine. I love doing that. I love seeing stuff like that and feeling stuff like that, and it happens. Whatever it is, go to the very end in your imagination first, and then start making your videos after you've imagined what it would feel like. I'd love to hear your stories after doing this. It might take a little while, but I love to hear your story. I love to hear how your imagination, by imagining at the end of the night, what it would feel like to do the thing that you want to do it a couple nights, and then start doing it. I want to hear, because I already know what's going to happen. It's going to start. It's actually going to start happening and manifesting. Leave a comment and let me know how it goes. Because once you get past this, the sky's the limit. Because a lot of the things we do, a lot of things we don't do is because out of fear or embarrassment, specifically fear. So the less you fear, the more you're going to dominate in this area of your life. And so let me know how it goes. The outer world is a reflection of you. You're only embarrassed because there's something inside of you that's embarrassed. I don't get embarrassed very often anymore, and if I do, it's just a mirror as to something that's inside me that I need to take a look at. Okay, the truth is, nobody who's doing anything worthwhile escapes criticism or embarrassment. The difference is the people who grow, they lean into it instead of running from it. You've got this, all right? Think of Taylor Swift, the most popular singer in the world. Half of the world probably hates her. Yet she still keeps on doing what she's doing. You have Trump and Biden and Harris and all these people. Half of the world hates her. Half of the world hates him, Biden, and half of the world hates Trump or dislikes him. You're never going to get around it. Okay? But if this episode resonated with you, if you like what I'm saying, and you are committed to changing your inner world, and so that your outer world changes like that, then let me know how it goes. Leave a comment. Obviously, like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. And I would love for you to share it with anybody else who needs to hear it. So let's stop letting fear and embarrassment hold you back. And these are the foundational things that you'll see that will be life-changing and will bring success to you no matter what you're doing.